What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to TTP Sports. Well, tonight does kind of suck just because the Phillies do get shut out by the New York Mets by a score of 2-0. And at the end of the day, I am not going to overreact. It's only 5 games into the season. It does kind of suck that the offense is going through a little bit of a cold stretch right now over the past couple of games. Schwarber, Castellanos, Bryce, Harper, they're all struggling right now to really get going, and those guys are your big 3 in the lineup right now, and they're all kind of struggling at once. JT looks like he's starting to get hot. He gets a couple of more hits in this game. Rhys Hoskins, after, his first, couple of games where he was hitting the ball all over the place, he's a little bit quiet right now. Nitty was quiet tonight. The Phillies did have some chances with runners in scoring position. They definitely did. They just weren't able to come up clutch tonight, and it was really just a pitching duel from the Mets and the Phillies. Zack Wheeler tonight basically taking away the first inning where he allowed the bases loaded. He hit a couple of guys. He walked a couple of guys as well, but managed to get out of that situation without allowing one run. And then it goes, basically the next mistake after that first inning was just that one changeup pitch to Nemo, which he sent out of the ballpark. But besides that, Zack Wheeler was really good in his debut for the season. Really good, actually. 4 2/3 innings, 2 hits allowed, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts, which was the home run allowed to Nemo. And for Zack Wheeler, basically not doing anything in spring training, not facing really any lineups, for this to be basically your first appearance of the season after not doing much in the spring, pretty good and looking pretty good for the future as well. So Zack Wheeler, basically, I guess at this point, the sky's the limit, and it was a really good debut for him. Hopefully he just continues to get better and better and better. Bullpen, once again, very good. Sanchez, very good, even though they got, into some trouble. Some, I wouldn't say defensive mistakes. It was just a little bit of a mishap out there. Bryson Stott slips on the base trying to turn a double play, and that allows the second run to eventually score later on. But still, it's tough to see the offense go into this slump, but still, it's game 5. It's still a 162 game season for a reason. This team's eventually going to get on their hot streaks. These guys are eventually going to wake up the bats. They're eventually going to score runs. And that's, the whole thing of a 162. You're going to have your cold stretches. You're going to have your hot stretches. That's what it's all about in a baseball season. That's why it's so long to begin with. So right now, let's, calm down a little bit. Let's not overreact like, most Philadelphia fans do on social media. And just relax right now. These guys are eventually going to wake up. I feel like it's a little bit of added frustration just because it is against the Mets. I feel like that's a little bit of the added frustration why people, are a little bit, oh, come on, Phillies, wake up the bats a little bit right here. But still. But before we get into all of this stuff, like I said, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And if you are new to the channel, I definitely recommend hitting that sub button and also dropping a like on the like button as well. If you're looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, this is the place to be at, depending on the outcome. Great or miserable, depending on the outcome. Also, if you're a current viewer of the channel, I am grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking for tickets to upcoming sporting events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So that could be tickets to, get yourself some home games for the Phillies. Maybe go to tomorrow's game, Max Scherzer versus Aaron Nola. Get yourself some Sixers playoff tickets. Really can't pass up that deal. $20 in your pocket. Use that for parking. Use that for concessions at the arena or the stadium. Really just can't pass that up. Use the code TTP Sports, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek today. So like I said, the Phillies lose today to the New York Mets by a score of 2-0. Basically, a pitching duel between Zack Wheeler, the Phillies bullpen, Miguel for the Mets, and their bullpen as well. It was just basically really good pitching throughout the entire side. The Mets only had 3 hits in this ballgame, and the Phillies only had 5. The Phillies did go 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position, so they did get chances for people to come up, drive in some runs, but sadly, just, they weren't as clutch as they were yesterday in the 8th inning, like when they came back and won last night's game. So basically, you go through that first inning, and Zack Wheeler, he gets into a little trouble, allows the bases loaded, and he manages to get out of it without any harm done. Phillies really go quiet throughout the rest of the night. And then really when the Mets, Zack Wheeler, he makes that mistake and it's that one pitch to Brandon Nimmo. It's a hanging changeup right down the middle of the plate, and he takes it out of the yard to make it a 1-0 Mets lead. And really, if you just go for the bottom of the first, top of the second, bottom of the second, really nothing going on here. Really, like the Phillies took a little bit to get their first hit in this ball game. Yeah, just basically Harper gets a single, then you get a double play from Castellanos, then you get the Brandon Nimmo home run in the top of the 5th inning. Phillies don't do anything in their bottom half of the 5th inning, top of the 6th. Mets go down quietly. Phillies get some things going in the bottom of the 6th. Camargo gets a hit to right. Then he gets bunted over, sacrifice bunt by Muzziotti, making his first start in the major leagues. But then Schwarber grounds out and JT Realmuto strikes out. So nothing going on there with Camargo at second base. Nothing going on in the 2nd inning for the Mets. The Phillies in their bottom half of the 7th inning. Castellanos did get a double, but then Rhys Hoskins strikes out, and also Didi Gregorius strikes out as well. So nothing going on there. But then we go to this top of the 8th inning. Sanchez is out there for another inning of work, and he was good today. He was definitely really good, but he started off by walking Brandon Nimmo, and then starting Marte grounded into a fielder's choice. But the Phillies could have turned a double play here, but it looked like Bryson Stott just slipped on second base when making the catch from Camargo and transferring over the first, but he just slipped in that instance and he was not able to throw the ball to first base to Rhys Hoskins to try to turn the double play. So nothing happens there. So Marte gets on with a fielder's choice. Brogdon comes into the game. Marte steals second base, and then Francisco Lindor singles to center field to make it a 2-0 game. And then Connor Brogdon manages to get out of the inning with Pete Alonso flying out, and then JT Realmuto manages to get Francisco Lindor trying to steal second base. Bottom of the 8th inning, Phillies go down 1-2-3. Bryson Stott strikes out. Alec Bohm comes in to pitch hit for Camargo. And, the Philadelphia fans giving a little bit of a rounding ovation for Alec Bohm after, basically what he did, mouth in that little clip that we saw during last night's game. He definitely did say, "I fucking hate this place." So, yeah, in the broadcast, post-game yesterday, press conferences, he manned up to it. He admitted it. He apologized. He did his business, and I respect him for that. That was basically the best thing Alec Bohm could have done in that situation. Just be honest, admit your fault, and then move on to the next day. That's all you can do in that standpoint. So Alec Bohm comes up to pinch hit, and then he grounds out to end the bottom of the 8th inning. Phillies in their top half of the 9th inning. Familia comes in. He gets out of that situation 1-2-3. And then we go to the bottom of the 9th inning for the Phillies. Kyle Schwarber, Edwin Diaz out there for the Mets. And Diaz, the slider was filthy today. The slider was filthy for Edwin Diaz. Normally we call him Ed Luz Diaz, but in his first appearance this season, he manages, he had a lot of nasty stuff out there, especially his slider. Kyle Schwarber, he gets into a little bit, working the count right there, but he manages to strike out. JT Realmuto gets his second hit of the day, hitting it to the opposite side, and, manages to reach base safely because the throw was not in time. Bryce Harper, Edwin Diaz was literally just throwing sliders and splitters to him, but Bryce Harper just wasn't able to get anything going right there. Castellanos then grounds into a fielder's choice, but then JT Realmuto, hustling on the hit, manages to get into second base safely before Lindor can get the throw over there. So you get a first and second situation, 2 outs for Rhys Hoskins. And he had some pitches to hit. Throughout this day, I would say Rhys Hoskins had a couple of pitches down the middle of the plate to hit. He just, was missing them. He was just missing them. And that feels like throughout the entire Phillies lineup, when they get pitches like right down the middle, they're just missing them. They're fouling it off. They're foul tipping it. So I they'll eventually catch up to it. Like I said, the bats are going to wake up eventually. They're not going to be on this cold stretch for, eons. Like I said, it's only game 5, but Rhys Hoskins does strike out to end the ball game. And that is your final score by a 2-0 Mets win. So going throughout the entire Phillies lineup tonight, Kyle Schwarber, still a little bit cold here to start the season. He goes 0-for-4 with another strikeout. His average is now 111. JT Realmuto starting to wake up the bat a little bit from yesterday. He goes 2-for-4 today, raises the batting average up to 235. Bryce Harper, he goes 1-for-4. His batting average is 111. He also strikes out twice. And like I said, I'm not overly concerned about Bryce Harper. He was in the DH spot tonight, getting a little bit of a rest from the outfield, with a little bit of the injury scare from yesterday with his elbow. So, like I said, I'm not fully concerned about Bryce, or not concerned at all about Bryce Harper. He'll eventually get hot. And when Bryce Harper does get hot, it takes a while for him to get cold. But right now, I just think, coming off of that insanely, hot spring that he had where he's hitting home runs all over the place, kind of feel like he's being a little too aggressive at the plate right now. Maybe just trying to do a little too much, maybe gripping the bat a little too tightly. It just kind of does feel like he is swinging at everything possible that he has right now. So Bryce Harper, I think he just needs to loosen up a little bit, take his time, slow down that swing, and just square up the baseball. Like I said, I think Bryce Harper will be fine. I just think he's just trying to do a little too much right now at the plate. Just trying to, get that big hit entirely. But, like I said, he'll be absolutely fine. Not worried about Bryce Harper one bit. Nick Castellanos, he goes 1 for 4 in this ball game. He's batting .211 on the season now. Rhys Hoskins, he's went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts tonight, so a tough night for Rhys. Didi Gregorius goes 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Bryson Stott, tough night at the plate. He goes 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Camargo goes 1 for 3, so he continues to hit. He's batting .500 so far on the season. Muziati, in his first major league game, he goes 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt. Alec Bohm eventually came in to pinch hit for him. He went 0 for 1 as well. Like I said, the Phillies did go 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position, and everyone that came up the plate, Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, Didi Gregorius, JT Realmuto, Kyle Schwarber, and Rhys Hoskins, they all got out when they had the runners in scoring position. So like I said, looking at the rest of the pitching staff, because the pitching was really good. The pitching was really good today for back-to-back days. In the bullpen, like I said, only giving up 2 runs to the New York Mets, and they weren't hitting the ball good either. They only had 3 hits tonight. They just, took advantage of some situations. Maybe if Bryson Stott is able to turn that double play and he doesn't slip on second base, maybe it's only a 1-0 deficit going into the 9th inning, and maybe it turns into an entirely different situation. But still, 2-0 is more than enough of a deficit. Well, not even close to enough of a deficit to, be worried about the Phillies team not being able to come back. The bat just went quiet tonight. That was just one of those reasons. So Sanchez out of the bullpen. He pitches 2 2/3 innings, no hits allowed, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. And that 1 earned run did come, I believe, on the play from Bryson Stott where he did slip on second base. Brogdon eventually comes in. He allows the hit to Francisco Lindor, and that able to score the run, and that run gets charged to Sanchez. So Sanchez, he came in during that 8th inning. Then Brogdon eventually came in to finish it up. He goes 2/3 of that inning, only allows 1 hit, and he gets out of that inning, finishing it off. Family comes in for the 9th, gets the 1-2-3, and he strikes out 2 as well. But for the Mets side, their pitching was just simply dominant tonight. Miguel, 5 1/3 inning, 3 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts. Shreve, he comes in for an inning, he gets 1 strikeout. Smith comes in an inning and 2/3, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, and Edwin Diaz comes in, pitches that full inning, allows 1 hit, and strikes out 3 Phillies as well. And just looking at the Mets lineup, Brandon Nimmo, he goes 1 for 3 with the bomb. Starting Marte, he goes 0 for 3. He managed to get on base, I believe, once in this ball game thanks to a fielder's choice. Francisco Lindor, he goes 1 for 4. Pete Alonso goes 1 for 3. Escobar goes 0 for 3 with a walk. Cano goes 0 for 4. Canna goes 0 for 3 with a walk. McNeil goes 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And James McCann goes 0 for 3 with 1 strikeout as well. So, like I said, not overly worried. Still, it's the 5th game of the season. The bats are going quiet. It does, it raises some concerns just because, yes, it's 5 games into the season. Why is everyone right now struggling all at once? But like I said, this lineup is way too good. It's way too deep for everyone to be cold all at once for a very long time. These guys are eventually going to get their due. Kyle Schwarber's eventually going to get his due. Like I said, looks like JT Realmuto's bat is starting to wake up a little bit. Another 2 hits tonight after, the bomb he hit yesterday. So maybe he is starting to wake it up a little bit. Bryce Harper, like I said, not worried about. He'll eventually get his due. Nick Castellanos will get his due. Rhys will get his bat waking up eventually. Didi the same as well. Stott, and basically the same thing for the bottom of the lineup. When those guys basically up at the top of the lineup are doing their thing, it'll make the bottom of the lineup maybe their life a lot easier. So they'll have stuff to hit. So yeah, not overly worried. And if we go into tomorrow's game, you got Max Scherzer going up against Aaron Nola. And that's, it's funny too, because you think on paper right there, it reads pitching duel because Aaron Nola versus Max Scherzer. But for some reason, with the way the series has been, with the starting pitchers in these first 2 games basically just doing everything they can to stop both offenses, why do I feel like tomorrow is going to be a slugfest? I feel like that just has it written all over it for some odd reason. That would just be the luck That would be the luck of that entire thing for Scherzer and both Nola to get lit up tomorrow by both offenses, and both teams wake up offensively and they score a lot of runs tomorrow. That would be guaranteed, honestly. But who knows what will happen tomorrow? Max Scherzer is a demon on the mound, and Aaron Nola, he can have his good outings. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow, since it'll be nice weather out. Maybe good weather would be good for Aaron Nola, and he'd be able to control his off-speed stuff tomorrow. But like I said, still very excited for tomorrow. I'll be at tomorrow's game, so that'll be very fun as well. So yeah, like I said, not overly concerned. The offense will eventually wake up. It's still only 5 games into the season, folks. Let's not completely overreact here. So, what are your thoughts on this game, everyone? What are your thoughts on everything going on with the Phillies right now? Are you concerned with the offense? Are you not concerned? So, don't forget to leave your comments and opinions down in the comment section below. I like to see those as always. Do not forget to drop a like on this video. Do not forget to check out the Painted Lines, which I'm a part of. The links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Flyer.pod merch website, and also Flyers Nitty Gritty. All that good stuff is down in the description below. Do not forget to check those out. And like I said at the beginning of the video, the most important thing you can do is hit that sub button and also drop a like on the like button as well. And also use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. And I will see you next time. Had a little brain fart there.